Hello or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I am going to be doing a video on how I cut my hair system from a stock system down to the correct size for my patch. Please be aware this is not a tutorial. I would not advise anyone to cut down their system unless you know exactly what you're doing. If they're cut incorrectly or too small, for example, they could be unusable and unwearable. So it's best to have a professional do it for you, or of course LaVivid offer a service where they will cut down the base for you as well. So this is the hairline. This is the Nicholas hair system. Isn't it gorgeous? I love this system. I really do. There's just so much I love about it. I love the bleached knots in the front. I love the wave pattern on the hair. It is body wave, which I find meets my natural hair pattern very well. So I absolutely rave about this system. So as you can see, it's got the mono middle with the PU outside and the lace front. So first things first, I would cut off the excess lace from the front of the system, and using the template I made in my previous video, I would mark halfway between the two temples, so the front of the system. So this one is about 6 inches, so I would find halfway of that, which is 3 inches, and I would mark that on my template. There we go. And then what I do the exact same thing on the system. So I find the halfway point. The wonderful thing about the Nicholas is that it actually has one of its triangles in the lace is the center point. So as you can see, I mark up what it would be halfway, and then as you can see, it marks up with the middle of that middle triangle, which just works out perfectly. Then what I do, I line up them two marks together. And you have to take it into consideration. This template I've made by hand is not necessarily symmetric. It's not necessarily a certain size the whole way round. It's very much unique to my patch size, which has changed over the years. And as you cut down your patch in the middle, the size can change. So it's not an exact science. But that's how I find the middle placed, so I can place my template on the top of my system and it meets up. And as you will be able to see in this next clip, I also measure halfway the whole way down my system and the whole way down on the template, so you can see that that line meets all the way down. So if they don't look even, then something's a bit off. But again, like I say, this is not an exact science, as your patch could be uneven as well, and your template could be uneven. So once I'm happy with where it's placed, I then draw along the side, and as you can see, my big head got in the way. But I thought I would leave it in there because, you know, I am only human, and this is part of my human process of how I do this. And you can see I am not left-handed, so this is a bit of a struggle. I'm using a white eyeliner pencil to do this, to mark it out. It's just easy to follow when you're cutting out the system. So when you're happy with that, I go in again and get my big head in the way again. And that's what it should look like. So there's an even mark on both sides. So between the mono and the PU, there should be a similar size on each side. So now I'm going to cut the system. This again didn't turn out right because my big head got in the way, but you can see what I'm doing. So I start with the lace at the front. So I go downwards with the lace. This is just a craft knife. And then I turn it around and I follow that line round. And of course, my head got in the way, so I couldn't show you the rest of it. But this is what it looks like afterwards. And I think it turns out to be the exact right shape for me. As I said, this is just how I do it. This is not sure. This is not how I would expect you to do it. But this is just how I get my system to the right size. And I also, if you followed my last video, my bases are a bit bigger. I just prefer it that way. And this is what it turned out like after I had it cut. I absolutely love this system. Like I say, the curl pattern is perfect for me. The colour's perfect. So this has been the Nicholas system from LaVivid. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to LaVivid for sending me this system. I hope I've been helpful.